Today we are going to start talking about reflexive verbs. What is a reflexive verb? Make sure you have your note-taking sheet out. If you don't have a copy of it, you can go to Blackboard, and underneath the link for this podcast is a copy of the note-taking sheet that you can print out. So reflexive verbs. The action of the verb is reflected back upon the speaker. It uses a special pronoun called the reflexive pronoun. Fill that in on your note sheets. Anything in red is what you have to copy down on your note sheets. So you're going to want to pause this and fill the information in. In the infinitive form, say is attached. So write say in the third line. Just like mantenerse en forma, which you saw before. Here's a couple of vocab words. Levantarse is to get up, and bañarse is to bathe. You should also have your vocab sheet with you to follow along with this as well. So you have the say attached. Reflexive. The reflexive is myself, yourself, his self, herself, ourselves, and themselves. Think about the word reflection. It's reflecting back upon the person that's speaking. Let's conjugate now, which is very easy to conjugate it. All you have to do is remove the say from levantarse. So if you take away the say on here, you'll notice it's just a regular verb that you've seen before. Okay, if you just don't pay attention to the say, okay, get rid of the say right there, then you just basically have levantar, and then you can conjugate it as normal. Then you change the say to agree with the subject and place it before the conjugated verb, like you do with a direct object pronoun or an indirect object pronoun. All pronouns go before the conjugated verb, or it can be attached to an infinitive. And I'll give you an example. You have the verb ducharse, which is to shower. So what you first do is you get rid of the say, and then you have to change it. And the pronouns you have to change it to, in the yo form it's me, in the tu form it's te, in the la usted form it's say. You can also write this down on that box that says ducharse, to shower, in the present. Nosotros is nos, vosotros is os, and ellos, ellas, ustedes is say. So when you have a verb like ducharse, when you're conjugating it, you're saying I shower, you shower, he showers, we shower. The first thing you have to do is you take off that ending the say, and then you change it. Anytime it's in the yo form, it has to be me. Anytime it's in the tu form, it has to be te. Anytime it's in the la usted form, it has to be say, etc. And then you just conjugate the verb as normal. Duchar in the yo form is ducho, me ducho, I shower. You have to have the me in front of it. It's mandatory. Te duchas. It's in the present tense. I shower. Again, you have to have this pronoun in front of it because it's a reflexive. How do you know it's a reflexive verb? There's a say attached to the infinitive or the unconjugated verb. Se ducha. So it's o, as, a, just as we typically do. Duchamos, duchais, ducha. So the only difference between just conjugating like a regular verb like hablar is you have to put the me, te, se, nos, os, se in front of it. And basically what this means, if you look at it, is I shower myself. You shower yourself. He or she or you shower yourselves. We shower ourselves. You guys shower yourselves, and they shower themselves. Okay, because you're doing the action, and you're also receiving the action as well. And it has to be the same person, like I said before. So let's do this in the preterite. Again, you would take the first thing you would do, instead of the present tense, which is I shower, you shower, we shower, you want to say I showered yesterday, you showered yesterday, he showered, etc. You have to take off the say, and then you have to put the pronouns. So it's me, te, se, nos, os, se. And then you just conjugate the verb in the preterite tense. Remember your endings. E, aste, o, amos, astes, aron. duché. So it's me duché. You can't just say duché because it's reflexive. You have to have the me in front of it. Te duchaste, se duchó. Nosotros nos duchamos, os duchasteis, se ducharon is what it is. It would be incorrect if you do not have the me te se, nos os se in front of it. Make sure you write this down on your note sheet as well. So, the me and the duché have to be the same person. You cannot have te duché up there, okay? If you had te duché up there, that would basically mean I showered you. And I guess it would be okay if you're talking about like the mother showered the child. Okay, let's do some practice. This isn't on your sheets, but just think about it. What would you put for you? You would put me. How about levantas? 2. That would be te. Pablo se levanta would be se. Then we have nosotros, the nosotros form with levantamos. We would have to have the nos there. How about the next one? What do you think the next one is? Me te se, nos os se. So that would be se, correct. And then we're looking at ana nupe. So is that me te se, nos os se? That is se again. So you have to have those pronouns in front. Now, just like any other pronoun, remember your direct object pronouns and your indirect object pronouns. It can be placed before a conjugated verb or attached to an infinitive. So make sure you fill in the red part underneath duchaste, the shower, and the preterite. It can be placed before a conjugated verb or attached to an infinitive. Okay, so for example, it says lavo los dientes. You can put it in front, which is me. You have to have it. Or you can attach it to an infinitive. Do you remember what an infinitive is? An infinitive is an unconjugated verb, a verb that ends in AR, ER, IR. Sometimes you will have that in a sentence. A lot of the times, if you have two verbs next to each other, that are talking about the same idea. This one's actually before a preposition. Before a preposition, or after a preposition, you never conjugate. Either one. You can say, me lavo los dientes, voy a lavarme los dientes pronto. You could also put the me in front of the voy. Me voy a lavarme los dientes pronto. So now I would like you to practice this. You are going to need your vocab sheet for the vocabulary. And please don't forget your pronouns, as this is in the present tense. So stop this video, do your practice, and then come back. Okay, now that you're back, the first one is me despierto. Did you make sure that you put the me in front of it? Don't forget, despertarse is a stem changer. 2, te arreglas. Nos dormimos. Se afeitan. Me pongo. So basically with these, the person that's doing the action is also receiving the action. I put on my clothes myself. Okay, nobody else is putting my clothes on. I'm putting my clothes on myself. If, for example, you wanted to say, it's a little boy, the mother puts the little boy's clothes on. That would not be reflexive. La madre pone la ropa a su hijo. Okay? In that situation, she's not putting the clothes on herself. She's putting them on someone else, so it is not used reflexively. But we're really not going to focus on that too much. Practice in the preterite. All of these use reflexive pronouns. So pause this and then come back, write your answers, and we'll see if you are correct. Remember your preterite endings. A, aste, o, amos, astes, aron, iste, yo, imos, istes, ieron. So number 1, ellos se entrenaron ayer con mi hermano. Entrenarse is reflexive, so you also have to have the se. I dried myself with a towel last night. Don't forget the me. And did you part? He washed his hair with shampoo. Él se lavó el pelo con champú. Now in this situation, did you put su here? When you're talking about parts of the body, you don't use his or her. You would just use the article él or la. You brushed your teeth with a toothbrush. Tú te cepillaste los dientes con un cepillo de dientes. Do you need to have the to here? No, you don't need to have the to there. Just like I did not put yo in number 2, but you, of course, could have yo in that situation. So please write down your questions that you have, and we will review this in class tomorrow. Okay, so have a good night, and I will